Good morning and welcome to a damp, overcast day in the South Lakes and the new Kia Sportage, the best-selling C-segment SUV in the UK. And last year, it outsold all C-segment SUVs. It's practical, it's economical, and it's quick enough. And now in its 5th generation, it still represents extremely good value. I'm Ben Quirk, welcome to Planet Auto. To think the Sportage has been around since 1994. Yes, right at the beginning it wasn't really selling very many units, but Kia was kind of unknown. Also, it wasn't the most attractive vehicle. It's quirky in today's terms, but back then, well, there were better looking alternatives. However, it's a completely different story today. I suppose it's a UK staple now, outselling pretty much every other SUV on the market. Well, for a C segment. But there's a reason for it. It's extremely good value, and because it's built and engineered in Europe, it's been adapted for UK roads. So a B road, well, it'll put a grin on your face. Hopefully, they won't phase out the petrol hybrid. You can get a 2-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive. Now, all units are powered by a 1.6T GDI, which is turbo gasoline direct injection. And this isn't your run-of-the-mill engine. For a start, it's got an improved hybrid system, giving it a total brake horsepower of around 235. The 1.6, it benefits from continuous variable valve duration, which controls the valve lift, improves performance, fuel economy, and emissions on the fly. The engine features an optimized combustion process, cooling technologies, and other measures to reduce friction in key areas. It's a well thought out engine. It even has increased thermal management and low friction ball bearings. Yeah, they go to some depths on this tech, I tell you. Moving to the hybrid system, a 47.7 kilowatt permanent magnet traction electric motor and a 1.49 kilowatt hour lithium ion polymer battery. It features a high-tech battery management system that constantly monitors the voltage, isolation, temperature and fault diagnosis. Good to know it's got you covered. It also has e-handling, which is a type of torque vectoring. The motor acts as a subtle powertrain brake, transferring vehicle load forward to increase front tyre grip and improve handling agility. Coming out of a corner, the motor then provides a slight boost to acceleration, transferring load to the rear of the car. Clever system. Thus enhancing stability, and this slightly improves the steering and driving dynamics. I did wonder why it felt so second nature to it. That also means it's still on the N3 platform, which is a damn good thing, because it really transformed the Sportage and gave it enhanced driving experience. I expect this will be the last facelift we see, and we're likely within the next 2 to 3 years to see a brand new model. Now, the way that the hybrid system works is it makes it more economical. It also gives you a fair bit of extra power, like a better version of a turbo, if you will. Help with starting and tick over, etc, etc. It means it can pull 0 to 60 in around 7.9 seconds. And when you go for the overtake on an unsuspecting Land Cruiser, you get past it far quicker than you'd actually expect. Economy-wise, you're looking at around 50 mpg. If you're hypermiling it or going on that eco run, I'd expect closer to 60. Thing is, we have seen higher, so it all depends on how you drive it. I was wondering what trickery makes it corner like it's on rails, considering its ride height and its dynamics. And back at the beginning, yes, Kia didn't have technologies like this, but nowadays they're up there with the best of them. Kia are a powerhouse. Now you're probably asking yourself, why haven't we seen an EV? Well, for a start, you've got the Niro, but if you're looking for something that's pretty much this size, watch out for EV5. Now, this isn't an all-new vehicle. It's what we'd call heavily facelifted, with some advances in technology too. At first looks, you can tell that it's definitely adopted the style of the vehicles like EV9, the way the lights go, whew. Also that large grille. In a word, it's kept the stronger base of the pre-facelift while still maintaining that lovable Sportage shape, and added just enough to improve its looks, make it more efficient and more engaging. We now have significant front and rear design enhancements, including a new bumper and the LED star map. The previous boomerang-style daytime running lights have been replaced. Well, it's definitely sharper and more in keeping with the rest of the range. I do really like this new straight-angled look. The curvature on the previous one, I suppose, is dated to a point, whereas this is fresh, new. It's seriously lifted the front end. I think the design philosophy is something like opposites attract. No, I think that was Paula Abdul. Opposites united. So yes, this isn't what you call a run-of-the-mill SUV by any stretch of the imagination. It's amazing how much is hidden under one of these. Yeah, they still offer Sportage in a manual. Even as standard, this is very well kitted out. front and rear parking sensors, LED lights. Range starts with the Pure, then you've got the GT line, and then the GT line S, meaning you can pick up a Pure manual for around £30,000. Now that sounds like a bargain and a half. Now ours is closer to 34,000. I suppose this is the sweet spot. The thing is, the GT Line S has got all the bells and whistles, and that's around 43,000. And if hybrid isn't your thing, you could just go for a pure petrol, with either a manual or a DCT. Now that's choice. In total, there's 8 variants to choose from. And I think it looks rather minimalist, clean and simple in fusion white. The thing is, you don't have to go for that colour. There's a fair palette to choose from. It's what you've come to expect from Sportage. If you like this type of video, why not subscribe to the channel? You just hit the button on the right hand side. It's free and you'll get an alert every time we upload. Thank you. Let's take a look inside. Keyless entry, soft padded armrest. Even this is soft. And bear in mind, this isn't top of the range. Doors that cover the sills. It's all thought about with this. Climbing in, nice and easy. I do have to duck my head a little bit, but once in, I suppose it feels familiar. Well, it's certainly changed in here. I knew there'd be a few tweaks, but no, even things like the vents have moved. Far cleaner design, making it more minimalist. Also easier to clean. Soft touches, and you can see you could get a heads-up display. And you can get that with the GT Line S. Dependent on the trim, you can get a 4.2-inch cluster, or you can get dual screens. So yeah, very similar to the previous gen. But the redesign, it's modern, it's simple. I also think they've dropped the dash. It feels like there's more space here. Great to see you've still got knobs and buttons and toggly switches. Lovely leather wrapped steering wheel. This is tech loaded and safety loaded. In fact, it's got a 5-star NCAP rating. Adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, mitigation systems, emergency braking. Pretty much everything you can think of. Also, dependent on which trim you go for, you can get a 360 camera. Nice chunky stalks and a great overall feel. Look, you've even got paddles, and this works with your hybrid system. Changes your regen level. On the right hand side, you've got your electronic handbrake, traction control button. We won't be messing with that one. And we can adjust the headlamp height. And does that mean this can tow? Yes, dependent on variant, vary. 12-volt battery reset as well. So if you find you've got a flat battery, you can just press that and it will use the traction battery and just charge up your 12, which we've used before, and it is an excellent system. A decent sized door pocket. Very straightforward to use, very straightforward to read. Mind you, Kia are known for simplifying things. Good to see that you've got proper knobs and buttons. So you can operate either the volume for your stereo, or you can operate things like your fans. So you can change the heating, and you can sync it, adjust airflow, etc, etc. And to turn off, you just literally press it. And to switch modes, you just press this for the stereo or this for the fans. And then you can turn up either your fans or stereo. And it's Harman Kardon, 6-speaker or 8-speaker. It's not the bassiest in the world, but it does sound pretty good. This is easy to use and responsive. Everything from YouTube through to ChatGPT. DAB radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And you've got a hybrid icon here. Hit that and it'll give you lots of information about how your motor's being used, powertrain, etc, etc. We can see that we've got around 3/4 of the battery. After refueling, it's been achieving 40 miles per gallon. I think I'll have to go a little lighter on my foot. Cluster, very straightforward. Nice and easy to read. You've got your mile per hour on the right. Revs, you can see your fuel gauge, battery level, media, you can see what your adaptive cruise and safety is doing. It's all very straightforward. That's what I like about a Sportage. You can just climb in it and drive it. Well, Kias in general. In case you're wondering where your driving modes are, they are not there, they are not there. They're here on your steering wheel. And you've got a favouriting system. I do like the cockpit style. Nice wide centre console, and even things like the drawer have a nice movement to them. They're pressed. Lovely. Interesting material too. Not carbon fibre-y, but not a million miles away. You will find the harder plastics, but they're functional. And they're not too bad either. But up here, you know, it's finished rather well. For a C-segment SUV, it's quite well to do. Now, dependent on the variant, you can even get a digital key. So that means you can do everything with your smartphone. And you've got your USB-Cs down here with this extra storage point. 2 cup holders and more storage here. You can disable your parking sensors, you've got a camera button, and also auto hold, even descent control. Bear in mind this is two-wheel drive.
As for the rotary, well, that's your shifter. Very straightforward. Park, drive, reverse. Nice smooth feel to it too. Very intuitive.
Great to see you've got an armrest. Yes, it's not the widest in the world. Oh, start engine to avoid battery discharge. See, it's rather intelligent. Even if you leave things like the lights on, it will turn them off. Clever. Decent space under here, and we've got a 12 volt. The seat's comfortable, it's got great support, buckety, and it is perfect for a long haul. I do like the cloth seats. Also this design, it just adds a splash of colour. Yes, most interiors nowadays are black, and that's just how it goes, but Kia have done the best to, I suppose, lighten it up with like the silver trim here, the different finishes. Really cool door handles. Headroom, well, absolutely no problem for me at 6'3". What's that, 3 inches, something like that? No, it's well set up. Mind you, that's why it's one of the best selling SUVs in the world. Map reading lights, SOS, auto dimming mirror, decent sized glove box, and no mega manual. The reason for that, it's in here. No, it's certainly improved on the pre-facelift. Let's take a look in the back. I almost forgot. We've got adjustable seat belts and we've got manual seats, but dependent on variant, you can get electric. And as far as SUVs goes, it's rather smart. Front and rear discs, and if you've noticed, we've even got Michelin Primacy tyres. And before you ask, yes, they are alloy wheels. No plastic bits here. The way that the shaping goes around the headlamp adds to efficiency. That's been considered at every level. And as it's a HEV, it charges itself. So you quite literally drive it, and it will choose which mode it needs. Now, it doesn't have a pure electric range, but it will drop into electric far more than you'd expect. That also ekes out petrol, so it makes it more efficient. Realistically, me driving it on a back road, I would probably see around 42 to the gallon. But even Kia state, you could get at least 60 miles. And don't forget, there's even PHEVs coming. Let's take a look at the rear. Nice long doors, and they open rather wide too. As far as access points go, that's pretty good. Climbing in, I do have to watch my knee here and up my head a little bit, but it's not bad at all. Once inside, it's not quite palatial, but you've got far more room than you expect. I can get my feet under the seats. And look at this. And bear in mind, this is set up for me at 6'3". Not what I expected. Unlike the front, we have got hard plastics here, but they're trimmed the same as the front, so that's nice to see. Electric window and a padded armrest. Not too bad for the cup holder either. No, space-wise, it's pretty good. Grab handle above every door, except the driver's. Centre light. Well, this certainly demonstrates how far you can have the seat back. The thing is, there is still a little bit of legroom, but realistically, that's for someone who's around 6'8". No, it's got far more space than you give it credit for. Comfortable seats, not the most buckety. Oh, a decent squidge effect to them. Pull down armrest, cup holders. You can adjust this. I mean, let's see how far up we can bring it. Oh yeah, that's a bit too much, but it does increase the space in your boot, so double-edged sword. Headroom, that's about 1 inch. But if I put it back to here, it's about 2 inches. It's well thought out. The thing is, Sportage has never fallen down on that. It is a great family SUV. One thing I would like to see is this bit padded. The harder plastic does detract, but where do you draw the line? Map pocket, little hook here, and a USB-C. And this is tri-zone, so you can even adjust the heating in the rear. Yes, there is a transmission tunnel, but it doesn't eat too far into the space. And you have this ingenious device, possibly for standing a phone, hanging a jacket. It's light and airy, especially with this headliner. Yes, the windows could do with being a little lower. Now, the windows, they're not the tallest in the world, and they are quite high up. But that all increases safety. That's the direction new SUVs are going. I've got a perfect view out. And with the rear window, it's nice and easy to see out of. Now, it ticks boxes. Finally, ISOFIX points and airbags around the vehicle. I think that's your lot. Let's take a look at the rear. Nice and easy to get out of too. Very smart. And they've enhanced the rear too. The shaping round here. A new rear bumper. LED lights, reversing camera, and parking sensors. And I do like this. I suppose it's a bit like a micro duck spoiler. And a sporty spoiler up here with a high level brake light. And don't forget, You get 7 years warranty. From the rear, you can see it's got a decent ride height too. So if you go for the all-wheel drive model, it's got you covered. Roof rails, you've got rear cross-traffic alert and rear braking. Let's take a look in the boot. Now, we don't have a power tailgate. You can get one, dependent on the variant you go for. Decent sized boot, never been a problem with Sportage. Now, if you go for the hybrid, it does change some of the configurations. But if you've noticed, we've got a 20-40-40, meaning we can drop that down and have a ski hatch. Tethering points, 12 volt, perfect for a dash cam, and little hooks too. Probably 2 big suitcases and a smaller one. So, perfect for a family holiday. We lift up the floor, extra storage once again. And we've got an inflation kit. Easy to remove the load cover, just pulls out cleverly, stows under here. Meaning this closes too. To drop the seats, you just pull these. Talk about simplicity. Doesn't lay entirely flat, but it's pretty good. Plus no gap here. Means you can get far longer items in. Realistically, I get my electric mountain bike in, but I would have to probably remove both wheels. It might go in at a push with just the back wheel, but it does demonstrate it's got decent load space. To release the seats, you pull the recline button, and then they'll just pop back up. Let's take a look under the bonnet. To release, just pull this. No struts, and the prop is here. If you've noticed, there's various colours in here, so you can see orange for warning, etc. It makes it very easy at a quick glance to know where to top things up, where to check things. The new breed of the hybrid SmartStream G engines, and they do work rather well. Time to see how the new Sportage drives. Welcome behind the wheel of the new Kia Sportage. Yes, it's not completely new, as we discussed before. It's still got the N3 architecture, and essentially it's a facelift. So the driving experience is pretty much the same, which is really good because these do drive exceptionally well. Now, they have done some tweaks on things like the hybrid system, but as far as the vehicle goes itself, great feedback with the steering, good feel to it. Also, it's well balanced and it nicely weightens up the faster you go. It still staggers me that this has got well over 200 brake horsepower. Mind you, the 1.6 TGDI is a damn good engine, and they keep refining it as well. So it uses less and less fuel, it seems to be quicker, and well, as you've noticed, you can't even tell it's changing gear. Unless you put it in sport, yes, then it transforms it. It offers a compelling drive. And even in eco mode, if you put your foot down, it can launch. See, that's 50. We were travelling at 25. The thing about the N3 architecture and its platform is, well, it changed Sportage. Before that, it wasn't the best handling vehicle. But now, considering it's an SUV with its raised ride height, it's rather formidable on a B road. Yes, you're not going to go chucking it around every bend, but it'll put a smile on your face. It also means you can get out of trouble in double quick time. Nice responsive gearbox. And that's the thing, you don't need to go for this. You could go for a pure petrol, you could go for the HEV like we've got, or later this year, you can go for a FEV. Ooh, bit of tree. Had some storms around here. Suspension wise, comfortable, forgiving. It's not like driving a Type R, but at the other end of the scale, it does grip for England. You can essentially throw it into bends, which isn't your first thought when you think about a C-segment SUV. It's just well balanced, and it stays composed at all times. Oh, look, looks a bit wet here. Wow, let's put some rain down.
Well, we've had amber weather warnings here.
We have.
So it's been very windy and rainy over the past couple of days.
The thing is, in the winter conditions and this freak weather as we've had,
Yes.
it doesn't really matter. I mean, we've got the two-wheel drive, But if you need something that's really formidable, then you could go for the all-wheel drive.
Well, I'll get you off the beaten track, won't it?
Oh yeah, easily. Saying that, we've got descent control. You know, what you get for the money, especially as this is a standard trim too. Safety's pretty much standard across the full range. I mean, this is £34,000. That sounds like a bargain, especially for a HEV. But to think you can get the petrol for 30 grand.
Yeah, and you can still get manuals as well, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's nice to have the
choice.
option, yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly as a passenger, it's very comfortable.
Good.
And considering that I've had issues with balance and stuff recently, I feel very well planted.
Now, if you put your foot down, yes, you will hear the growl of the engine. The thing is, that's the thing with hybrids. Pretty much every manufacturer, the engine does exactly the same, because you're putting it under load. As soon as you back off, though, it'll quieten down and continue at that speed. The other thing is, it's pretty well refined in here. Yes, you can hear more noise because Annabelle's not been able to hold the big camera with the radio mic, so we've had to resort to the iPhone. So you're hearing more of a grumble, but it's not that loud when you're driving it. Just something to note. We'll hear a bit of tyre noise and a little bit of noise off the mirrors at higher speeds, but generally speaking, it's pretty good.
Great visibility throughout, nice big windscreen, B-pillars not too invasive, and you can get everything from blind spot detection to power folding to pretty much everything you expect from a Kia car, to be honest.
I like the fact that the high trims have got a heads-up display.
Yeah, so it makes it far safer.
Yeah, you get to keep your eyes on the road, don't you?
You do. So this is NCAP 5, and it's got lots of safety, lots of convenience, adaptive cruise, mitigation systems, emergency braking, yada yada yada. Pretty much everything you expect from Kia. That's it. Kia make decent cars. And they just go from strength to strength.
I'm sure that was a tagline for another manufacturer, but it works here. No, these seats are really comfortable.
I know, yeah, it's great for a long haul, isn't it? No, the full setup is...
Well,
But it makes a compelling family SUV that'll still put a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
it certainly
really...
has with you.
Well, it's important to me, isn't it?
Well, it's one of the things that you have to have.
Yeah, I have to have.
It's
yeah.
not just something that will commute you from A to B,
No.
clear on the left. It's got to be something that's going to
It's got
put
to
a smile on your face.
It's got to energise you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, launching as well. It's quite quick. 0 to 60 in 7.9 is perfectly fine for me.
And it's turbocharged as well.
Yeah, turbocharged electric motor. 1.49 kilowatt hour battery. It's got everything it needs. And the fact that it factors in torque vectoring using the electric motor is
It's
amazing.
clever, yeah.
Yeah, well that's it. You can brake going into your corner and accelerate out, and it'll think actually you need a little more power. And you
because
can
it's-
feel it.
Yeah, and because it's Kia, it's been engineered on our roads.
Yeah.
So it's going to handle well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it knows what a pothole is. It knows how to react. It's not wobbly. It's not all over the shop. As I mentioned, it stays composed. No, the Sportage is a top-selling vehicle for a reason. It's good.
But don't just take our word for it. Go to a dealer and get behind the wheel of one.
Ah, I think we're almost at our destination. We're off to Truckhaven to get some sandwiches because they make some fantastic food. On that note, thanks for joining us. And oh yes, finally, LEDs, great lights, throws perfect. It just ticks boxes once again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye bye.